Okay, so Warwick and Tom Hoyle or Thomas Hoyle, and we're looking at your Unit 12. So, documentary. Did you enjoy the unit,
Um,
or was it just purgatory from beginning to end?
it wasn't awful, but I don't remember going through it being like, I love this. I did enjoy researching my topic though. I definitely did enjoy doing that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. Your task one was looking at 3 documentaries, different kinds, analysing them, and then discussing what you've learned from those and how that information could be used to help you make your own documentary. So, really well organised, really well laid out, lots of information in here for each of the documentaries. Nice, there's a link. However, what happened there? So we've got 2.
Yeah, that's what happened. I forgot to ask.
2 in rough comments. So good work. However, you didn't do the 3rd one, and I'm assuming that you were going to put your conclusion afterwards of what you've learned from there. So that didn't happen either. So yeah, merits for your research, because what you did was really good, but you didn't finish it. So yeah, you've got to be really careful. You don't want to do that with your final major project, because that would be tragic. So, task 2, researching your actual subject matter. Loads of information here. I found it quite interesting. I remember in the UK as well, wasn't as bad as in the States, as we don't tend to have, politely saying, we don't tend to have many people with quite as fervent religious views in this country as you get over there. Or just nutters, as you might otherwise choose to say it. But yeah, politically correctly, I suppose, people who are less zealous in this country. But I still remember it being, it being talked about when I suppose I was like 10 years old or something. I remember seeing it in news and things about satanic rituals and worship in woods and whatever else, and it's all nonsense, of course, but a lot of it was just people setting it up just so that they could see the news report and say what they like about crop circles and things like that. So yeah, it kind of reminded me of a few things when I was younger. So rough layout, not very well organised.
No, it wasn't. It really was just like it was less to present to. It was more for my use than I wasn't really thinking about how to actually present it as work. Not all these like it never went further than rough notes. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, while it may well have been quite interesting for you to read all of that, it was not very well organised and wasn't in very much detail. So you'd probably kind of read a lot of it and taken a lot of it in, but then hadn't transferred that into your actual research document. So we need you to focus more on writing things that you found and talking about how they've helped you develop your idea, how you're going to use that information to develop your idea. Because the research, well, you enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed looking at those, but I ended up looking at those resources myself to get an idea of what it was you were really talking about and what it was you were really looking at, rather than you referencing where you got this great amount of information from. You kind of hinted towards it and then gave us a link to it that I ended up having to follow myself to really get the information out, and that's not the way it's supposed to happen. So yeah, the research itself, and so there's some good content in there, but it just wasn't rich enough. So again, the merit level, production itself, we've had feedback on screening day. It was really well made. It was well put together. It was well thought out and planned, and you got some good style in there. That's one grade is how it was made and how it looks, and the other one is the content and the information that was delivered. So it's kind of like how you did it and what you said. And both of that was it was informative. It was interesting. You got a lot more information across than you had in your research, which just goes to show that you found a lot more information than you decided to tell us about. Which was You're supposed to find more than you tell us, if you like. Find more in the research and put it in research than you put in your production, whereas you had more information in your production than you did in your research. But it's a bit kind of twisted around a little bit. So yeah, just make sure that everything you find, you tell us about, because there's a lot of interesting information in there, and if that had been within your research, that would have been pushing the research grades up as well. So yeah, just be careful, make sure that we're definitely getting that information. But the quality of the production was very high, was really well done, and as I say, the information that we got across was interesting. I found it informative and engaging, and I liked the way that it was being put together. Evaluation, really not enough information in there to put it into the distinction area. You'd broken down the initial sections well. It just wasn't, there isn't quite enough detail in here. Like with your research, you've identified, you could have researched these in libraries. It would have been time-consuming. It's something you could have done. The way you researched wasn't a problem. It was just recognising that you hadn't done as much as you could have done to put as much information in to create your production. And it's something that's happened on quite a few productions of yours. We've had really good quality work. The technical work has been really high, but the research has been not lackadaisical, because that's not right, but it hasn't been as detailed as it could be. And it's not that you're not thinking about it or looking at it, because you're showing us what you're looking at. You're just not writing about what you found. You're keeping that bit to yourself, like a secret. But I want you to tell us what you find, because that's really important. You can't just look and not tell us what you find. And you show us the sources that you look at as well. And then you go and make a production that quite clearly demonstrates that you've read all this stuff and you've looked at it, but you just refuse to tell us what it is. So it's really important that we get that. And in your evaluation, there's no plan of how you're going to overcome the obstacles that you found. Fell behind standard with the rest of the work, particularly research and planning. Okay, so I've one last chance. I'm hoping the creative freedom and the fundamental work will help you research your pre-production as a useful tool. But you already said you enjoyed the research on this one.
I think I found like looking at it interesting, but like when I was like, I actually have to put this down and write this down, then I was like, that's what I meant.
Okay. But yeah, I'm hoping the creative freedom and fundamental work will help you research pre-production as a useful tool, not mundane, repetitive. Sure. So there's nothing wrong. If you find research as a chore, that's fine. Some people do, some people don't. As you said, you found learning the information interesting, which is what the research is. Documenting the research is what is the chore for you, not finding out the interesting information, and that's fine. It's writing. Most people don't like sitting there just typing out stuff. It is mundane. It is repetitive, but it's still necessary, unfortunately. But yeah, here really we need a plan of how you're going to use your skills, how you're going to improve your skills really for the final major project. So basically what you're saying is here, I didn't do very well in my research and planning. I'm hoping that I'm going to do better next time. There's not much of a plan.
I need to actually put one.
I didn't do very well in my practice parachute jump. I'm hoping the real one's going to go all right. I'm not going to do anything to prepare for it. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing as I did before, and hope it turns out different. Which is, I know this isn't parachute jumping, but it's still kind of important. Not as important, but still quite important. So really, your end of your evaluation needs to have a clear plan of what you're going to do between now and then to improve those skills. For your research, if it's a case of my research and planning didn't go quite so well, then I'm setting up a calendar ready for my major projects. I'm going to have notifications on my phone telling me every day where I should be, what state I should be at, and what I should be doing. I'm going to try using a different piece of software to take notes down for my research. I'm going to try vlogging all my research as a screen recording while I'm reading through things. Whatever it happens to be, we need to know that you know how to correct some of these issues that you're finding with your work. You are an intelligent guy and you're very creative, and I know that you're seeing where problems are, and I know that you're aware of them by the way you're talking in your evaluations and by the way you communicate when we talk about your projects. But unless you can state in your evaluation at the end, these are the steps I'm going to take to improve these areas that I want to improve, to develop these skills, then your evaluation will never get above that level. And it doesn't matter what you do with the rest of your work, if you can't get that above that level, it's very difficult. So yeah, your evaluation is talking about what went well, what didn't go well, what you enjoyed, didn't enjoy. You do all of that, but right at the end, just these are the things I'm going to do to make sure that I've improved all my skills, ready for next time. Not next time I will, but by next time I will have. And that's the important step, because if you wait for next time, it's too late. You're already there. You're already up against it. It's too late to do anything about it. So you need to get those skills developed beforehand. Make sure that you're organised. Make sure that you've got calendars sorted out. Make sure you've got notifications on your phone pinging up at the beginning of every day, just saying today you should be doing this. Put them in at the end of the classroom day. Right, what have I done today? What have I got to do tomorrow? Okay, so tomorrow morning I need to be doing this. Just put it in your phone. It will set, alarm at 9:15. You sat down on the computer. Oh, excellent. Right, I need to be doing that, and you can get on with it. Use the tools you've got that are literally in your hand most of the day to help you, to help you structure things. Overall, the project was, it was really good. The quality of the production was really high, as is most often the case with you. It's just getting the details down. You're thinking, you're creating, you're processing all this information that you're taking in, but you're just not sharing it with us.
Yeah,
it's staying here, and we need to see it. I can't mark you on your thoughts. I can only mark you on what you show me, and that is unfortunately a problem that we've had on a few units with you, where you've done excellent work and you've clearly thought about everything really deeply, but you just haven't shown us how those thoughts have panned out. It's just showing your work in the maths at the end of the day. I need to know that you know how you do it, not just the end result. So yeah, that's it basically. Final major project. Just tell us what you're learning. Tell us what you're finding out. Don't keep it a secret from us. And that is basically it for this one. Did you want to ask me questions about it?
No, you've covered it.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, Tom. I know it's a brief one, but at this stage, it's just hitting you on the head with a very brief message of what to do for your final major project.